Hello and welcome back to Pushing Technology to the Limit. Today I want to talk about Zeroshell Fixins. What is that all about? It's about the package manager that every Zeroshell comes with. It's probably about the least amount of that has been talked about on the internet, whether it's documentation or videos. I've seen the videos just blow over this packet manager. I'm kind of was curious about what's in it and what does it have to offer me and you. So, some things I'd like to talk about first is I talk about in the video. Now, if you're wondering why I'm talking about what's in the video, is because I did this video in reverse. I recorded the screencast before I did my introductions. So that's why it's in reverse. I normally record my introductions and my endings in order. So I want to talk to you about the Simple Network Management Protocol. I want to show you my program that I've got here, and it's showing me all the data usage that's on my switch, and it's pretty neat. Now, the one thing that I found in Zeroshell is that it comes with a Simple Network Management Protocol. Well, I found out when I did this is that it's only in-house. And what I mean by in-house is that it only works with the router. It doesn't, you can't export it to a software like I'm doing with my switch. Now that's always fixable, is if you just use your switch port that your traffic's going through to measure what's coming in and out of your router. So let me show you my screen now. Now this program doesn't really fit all the way on this small screen. It's not anything to do with my computer. It's to do with this monitor. But it works just fine for what I need it for. And I've got several things I'm looking at right now. And the signal that you see right now is what I'm using on one of my switches. Basically, this is a video switch. And what I mean by a video switch is that I've got a bunch of video devices. And actually, that's how you're looking at this monitor, is that I have a video extender over my Ethernet, and that goes over my network. And I got more than one of these. So that's what this thing's doing, is telling me how much I'm using on my network. And it varies from day to day and overnight for the fact of what's running in my office. So down here, if I move it down a little bit, you can see how much I've used within a 24-hour period. Now there are many types of softwares out there that will do this program. I mean, there are different titles. I have my quirks about this one, but it's a-okay. It's halfway decent. One of the other ones that I used to use showed you the history within right on your screen, whether it's 24 hours, 48 hours, and it was customizable. This one's not as customizable as the one I had before this one. So I can check my switches. I also got, if you see my list, and I'm going to get up here close, that I've got, let's see here, let me point it to you. Let me look at the screen. I got Zeroshell right here. So basically when I click on that, I can see what's coming in and out of the Zeroshell router. And I can tell what I'm doing by the meter over here. Now if you can see this, okay, let me get really close. So I just highlighted the Zeroshell. And this is what's going on with my Zeroshell. And I can get this off the router itself, but I prefer to not have to log in, so I'm using my switch for bandwidth control, so I can see what's going in and out of that cable at all times, whether it's I'm transferring files to another network or I'm doing things on the internet. The Zeroshell bandwidth monitor is a little bit more detailed than this is. This just gives me what's coming in and out of the that port. With Zeroshell, it gives me, you know, the TCP addresses that have been accessed by the router, what computers, different things like that. And that's all coming up in this video. And I just wanted to give you a short demonstration of what this 10 strikes bandwidth monitor does. Now you can look this monitor up on the internet and download your copy. And that's just what this software does, is that it just measures everything. And you can customize it, whether it's kilobytes or megabits, gigabits, and I think there might be terabits. I'm not really totally sure. But I've just set it up for one thing and just left it. Let me get to my screen and let me show you what's going on with the package manager. And I highly recommend that if you haven't dug into this, I recommend doing it. It's pretty neat. Now, I have not been able to find certain things that I installed for some reason, and like I said, I'm still learning about this, and what I find out now is what you get on the video. And I got a lot more cool stuff to talk about with Zeroshell that I just found out. Like there's like a load balancing feature in it, and I might not be saying it right because I'm not looking at it, but that is quite interesting. I'm just going to give you a sneak peek. I mean, I'm not going to show you anything, I'm just going to talk about it. But I did a test the other day, and I was able to switch my modems, and when I do the video, I'm actually going to show you my setup, how I got it going, and I got one fast and one slow, and I was able to change it within the router. It's pretty sweet. The only thing that I have not been able to figure out, I mean, I got some things working, but that QoS is a whole different dog. So, you know, I'm not sure just yet how I'm going to figure that out, but that's to come in the future. And let me get to my screen now, and I hope you enjoy this. If it's going a little bit slow, just feel the fast forward, because what I'm doing is I'm just running it as it's installing, just to show you folks, for those that are very interested of what it's doing. I wanted to just give you an in-depth detail. And for those that are kind of like, oh man, this is boring, just feel free to fast forward until you find something in the preview on as you're fast forwarding on YouTube. Something that you might find interesting. Let's log into Zeroshell, and the first thing that we shall see is our package manager. Now, I just got my license keys for both the ones that I'm going to be using on my network, which is the 3.2, and the 3.9, which is a little bit hard to see. So the first thing I want to talk about is the older computer. Now, I have installed some packages here on my screen that you can see that. And there's some things that are interesting, but some of the old computers, or I don't know if it's a software or what it is, it's not supported. Like, you know, I wanted to use the Dan's Guard, or how you say that. I got the Squid Web Cache, or how you say that, installed, and I'm just not totally sure on how to get everything to function just yet. But let's try installing some of these things. Now, like I said, these things right here are the ones that are compatible with my computer. Now, over on the here on this side, let's see here, the status. I've got one disabled because I found that one annoying. It made my browser refresh, and it made it look like this one. And I just don't care for that flickering thing. I don't know what it's doing, but it's just kind of annoying. But anyways, if you want to try to install this, now what you do, well, actually you don't click on that little button there. You click here. I want to show you that I tried to install it and it won't work. It just comes up with an error that says, not compatible with package. I don't know what that means, but anyways, I got some of, like I said, I got some of this running. Let me go over to the other computer, and let's try installing some things here. This is a newer hardware. It has a dual core processor, as you can see up here in the right hand corner. And the other one over here is only a single core, and it's a Pentium 4. Now, before I move on, I wanted to say one thing about one of these updates. I'm not really sure which one it is, but it didn't work. I had to come over here where it says boot, and let me show you what I was doing. So you can select what you'd like to boot to. Now, okay, so here it is. This is the one I'm booting to right now, and this one and this one, the P4. I'm not really sure about this one, but anyways, the Pentium 4 is which the processor I have. It would not boot, so I had to go back to this one right here. So it's it's very easy to fix the problem when it doesn't boot, because when you power off your computer and you power back on, you can always scroll up to your selection where it was working and then boot from there, then just come back in here and tell it you want to, wherever it is here, right here, that you want to boot to whatever one that worked for you. So I'm just warning you that one of these packages just doesn't work with the system. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to not work with every single system out there. I can't tell you that. But if it doesn't work for you, just know that that's what it is. It's not compatible with some of the hardware. And when I read it, it said something about Windows XP processors, which is what I have on this computer, was XP before I put this operating system on. So anyways, let me get going to this package manager here, and this is the new version right here, the 3.9. You can't even see that because it's so white. So let me try installing Dansgaard. And let me bring that over here again. And we'll see what this does, and see if it's applicable for this version compared to the old one that I have. Okay, it looks like that's going to do it. Okay, yes, so Dansgaard is not compatible with the 3.2 version that I have. So this one's working. Now the other one that I'm going to install a bunch of these, and then I'm just going to go and try to figure out where they are. I mean, I might not try to do it all on this video here, but let's try Squidguard. And then we'll go try to find out where everything is installed on this thing. Nope, that one's not compatible with this version. That's weird. The other computer installed fine. I have no idea. Anyhow, let's try some other ones. Let's see here. So you can read it a little bit, and let's see here. So this is just a networking package. I'm going to try this, and I'm not sure what everything does, but that's what this video series is about, is trying to find out what everything does do. And there's just so much stuff to do and so much to show you that I don't have enough time in the day and long enough to make a whole video that you'd want to sit there and watch. So, Let's see here. I don't know why I don't see the packages that are installed. Oh, here it is. Okay. There it is. So here's one. I've talked about it previously, and I've talked about it in other videos. It's called Simple Network Management Protocol. Basically, what that does is it takes your interfaces, and it, like if you have a bandwidth monitoring program like 10 Strikes. There's another one I used years ago. Can't remember which one that is now. But that one was pretty good, but it's old now. I don't remember it. I still have it somewhere on my hard drive, but it's not installed on my computer. Let me close that. Alright, here's something interesting. Here's a Samba file sharing service, which is for, I'm not sure if it's just for Macintosh. I'm not sure. I've done a little Macintosh in the past. I haven't owned really, well, I owned a really old one years ago, and I got rid of that when it wouldn't work anymore. But beyond that, I don't know. And if you find this installation stuff a little bit boring, you can always just fast forward the video, and I'm not sure what time everything will take place, but I just want to show people everything that comes in this router with all these packages. So I encourage you to donate the money or do some videos or other documentation and submit it to the author in Italy, and he will give you a license. And actually, he was very generous because I did one video and he gave me 2 licenses, and I didn't think he would do it, and that was amazing. So that's why I'm making this other video, because I've got one for my main network, and I got one that's my my test network. So then this is for my testing purposes. Oh, there's a lot of neat things here. Now, let's see here. Here's an interesting one. And, well, actually, this doesn't have too much to say about what it does. It just says snort. Yeah, I can snort. Anyhow, let's just see what that does. I'm not sure. Just look it up on the internet of what snort is. Let's see. Is that okay? It's not done installing just yet. So now you can see here again that I've got stuff installed. Now some things will require a reboot, and I may have to do that and pause the video. Let's see here. Why didn't that one go in? I don't know. Oh, it is. Okay. Some things are in, but they're not registering like they are. Let me just kind of come back over here and kind of refresh it somehow and see if we can find it. Okay, so there it is. So we got these installed. I'm going to try to install a bunch of these packages, and like I said, I'm not totally sure on how everything works, but that's what this whole thing is about. It's just learning on how this works. And we'll just take a look around in the router once we get things installed and go from there. This is something totally new for me anyways, because I've never used a package manager before. Blah. Package manager. If I'm not a mush mouth. Some of this is going to take a little bit to install, so Okay, so it's completed, and we can close that. Now, one thing before I close the this window here, I want you to take a look at this. I just noticed this, and it's size 500 megabytes, and it says free 6. I'm not sure how to even say that whole number, but 69917 megabytes. It's a, I think it's an, I don't know, I think it might be maybe an 80 gig hard drive. I can't remember what's in that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a 80 gig hard drive in the laptop. So, if you're going to install a bunch of these, you're probably going to want to have a big hard drive, and I think 80 gigabytes is big enough, but I can't tell you because this is the first time that I've ever done this. So, the one thing that I'm kind of concerned about is when you reinstall it, like if your hard drive dies, you lost everything, you install a new one, I don't know if you can back up the previous license so that you can keep using it on the same hardware. It's just another hard drive or whatever it may be that you're replacing. Maybe it's a network card. I mean, network cards don't usually crash your computer, but causes other issues in your network. Okay, so that's winning successfully. Now the asterisk VoIP PBX. That is a I'm not really sure what that is now. I had a little bit of a brain lock here of what that is, but that I have seen this on the internet. An actual whole operating system that's called Asterisk. I've never messed with it, so I don't know what it all does, but I don't have the system or even the phones to do it with. So, okay, let's try some other things here. I think I might have tried this one. It was that squid. Oh, I don't want to blow it up that big. Let me get it back down here where I can see things here. Okay, so that's the one that had an error. Hopefully I don't run into that again. There's a whole bunch of things here. Let's see. I'm not sure. And there's these. One thing I didn't mention on the other router here. Maybe I did, but I forgot. But so this is a 32-bit system right here. This is the 3.2 version. You don't want to do anything with the 64-bit kernel because this is not a 64-bit system, and it would not be compatible with the hardware that I'm running this one on. But this one over here, the new one, this one is a 64-bit system, so it would work just fine. And we can try it and see what happens. We are either going to make or break the system, who knows. We'll see. It's one thing I don't like about updates, and if you've watched my videos before, you know I've said a bunch of things about Windows updates. Sometimes they just break the machine. And I'm not saying this is like Windows, but I'm saying the updates, I'm just kind of a little leery of it. I mean, the software packages, like the add-ons, that's one thing, but when you're starting to deal with the hardware, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, with Linux, I'm just not, I'm not too certain about it. I mean, I've used Linux. I mean, just think about it. We use Linux all the time, and you might not even know it. Even the built modems that you get from your DSL provider or your cable provider, fiber optics provider, whatever your service provider is, it's all based on Linux. So it doesn't matter what you're using, whether you paid for it or whether you got this one. It's all the same stuff. Anyhow, let's let me refresh this thing again so I know what the heck I'm. Whoops, another window popped over here. All right. Okay, so Squid is out. This might be boring for some of you because this is for us advanced people. I mean, you can be advanced, you can be just beginners, and maybe you just want to know something about this, and kind of like what I am doing. So I hope you aren't falling asleep in front of your computer while I work on this. Okay. Let's see if that works. Now, I'm not sure which one it is. Why this? I don't know if I need to update my Zeroshell again. I see that there's an update there for I think it's like 3.91 or something like that. Let's see here. I wonder if I can get it. All right. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, three. Well, I didn't say the points. 3 Okay, so we have successfully completed this this download here and installation. So let's let me come back over here and let's see what we got installed. Okay, so that one was a pretty big download. That was like, I know that was at least 1 gigabyte at least, maybe 1.5 gigabytes. So there's a bunch of other things that you can try to download. I actually, let me try the 3.91 add-on here, and let's see. Well, actually, let's see how long this will take, and let's see if it will actually improve some of the other things that I can't install. I mean, I only got one thing so far that I can't install, and that is the I think it's that squid guard thing. Let's see here. Yeah, that's squid. Actually, not squid guard, but just squid. One thing I just noticed when the other one was downloading was that it actually had a little timer here to tell you how long it took to download it and to install it. So that's pretty nice. I was like wondering at first. I was like, I wonder how long it's going to take it to get done. And I just saw that. I was like, oh, there it is. Okay, so now it's going to require a reboot. So let's do that and we'll see what happens. And I'm going to pause for right now and I'll be right back when it's up and running again. While I was on my break and I went through some of the updates just to kind of see what was going on. And there is some pretty darn good, cool stuff here. Now, I've got the unit, the router, updated to 3.9.1 now. So, let's see if we can do anything with the squid. I'm not sure, but we'll give it a shot again. And if it doesn't work, then there's nothing that we can do. Nope, nothing. So I don't know if it's my computer or the hardware that's in it. I'm just gonna download everything. I mean, heck, why not? I mean, we'll just see what everything does here. Now the operating system updates, they really took a good chunk of time to get done. I'm not the fastest connection, but I've got at least 19 on a good day, 18 on a fairly good day. And I don't really get anything below 18, but some days I get really good speed and some days I don't, but I'm not complaining. It works good for me. So we'll see how long everything takes. Oh, this is a lot less. This is only 200 megabytes compared to the other ones that I've downloaded. And but we'll see what everything happens when we get everything installed here. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so this needs another reboot. Well, I'm just going to do it later. I don't want to take any more time than I have to, so let's see here. I need to see if I can actually refresh my packages here. Actually, wait a minute. Alright, let me get back here. Well, the thing's going to pitch a fit until I reboot, so I might as well reboot and then come back. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so let's log back in again. And let's keep going with our package installation. Let's try the I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but Hamache VPN. So let's try this one and see what all this stuff does. And I'm not sure how long this is going to take. Oh, here it is. Oh, this is pretty small. It's 30 megabits, which is going to be a lot faster for me anyways. And I didn't even have to require a reboot. So here's another one. Well, I don't think some of these the system updates have to be rebooted, but some of these other ones do not, I guess, because they're so small. I'm not saying, I'm just guessing because I just don't really know. But but like these things right here, they're probably gonna be more of like these 64-bit kennels. They're gonna probably need a reboot. Like this one here. I'm not sure, but we'll have to just see. Depends on how big they are. And it just depends on how long it's going to take me to download the thing. And I'm not sure where they're downloading from. I don't know if it's downloading it from Italy or the US or where. Okay, process is complete, so let's go for another one. Let's go for the 64-bit. Okay, so this is not too bad. 60 megabytes. Okay, it's done. Let's go for this one here. There was some ones that I did before. They were really monster updates, and these are actually getting smaller. So I'm not sure. I don't think I did these in order, but I don't think it really matters. Okay, that one's done. Let's see here. Let's do this one here. This one's a little bit bigger, but I'm not really concerned about too much about time. I just need to get it installed, and we'll see what happens. Okay, that one's done. Well, the last one is here. And so once we're all done, we'll just check everything else out. And let's just give this one more shot and see what happens. I'm not holding any hope for this. It's probably not going to work. Nope. Not going to even install. So anyways, that's the only thing that was left. And I'm just going to just refresh it and see what's in here. So basically, the squid was the only thing that I could not get to work. But everything else is installed and running. So, what's new? Let's look at the top here. I found this very, I was going to say cool, but I don't know if you want to use cool. Anyways, it was very interesting. Let me bring this over here. It's a big window, and it's really interesting. I'm not. Well, I'm gonna have to kind of scan up and down here for you. Let's see here. Let me try to get that on the screen so you can see it good enough. All right. So it says that there's a new version available. I'm not gonna bother to download that right now. I just want to look through it. So let's just check out some things. Now, I guess this is the simple network manager. It's pretty interesting. I was thinking when I saw that it was going to be something that you had to have an external program for, like 10 Strikes bandwidth monitor software. Now, like I said, you can always use an application like that if you have a smart switch or managed switch, however you want to say it, to trap your data that's coming in and out of your switch. But for each port, I don't think you can do that with this piece of software. I'm just not sure. It's too bad they didn't have that setup where you could actually set up a trap like 161 and then your community port, which would be whatever you want to name it, and so on and so on. I really don't have an awful lot of time to discuss what that all is, but some of you won't even need it. But let's just see here. All right. So it has some diagrams and things here. And it tells me, actually, I don't know what it's doing now. There was a whole bunch of stuff there, but it tells me the main part of the router here. Let's see here. If I click on this? No. Let's see here. What will this do? Well, it doesn't take me anywhere. All right. So let's just check some status here. So you got a whole bunch of logs. Networks. Okay, so this is really interesting. I've never seen anything like this before. I've actually never had the updates in before, so I never knew what this was going to do. So this actually tells me interesting things about my internet, and actually my local network, which is my test network right here. So I'm not sure what all this stuff does, but well, actually here's something that's interesting. Sent, and I don't know if that's received. I can't really read that too well. I think it must be sent and received. It's abbreviated. So you can see how much what you're sending there. Let's see here. Remote networks. Okay, let's see what my internet's doing. Okay. So I guess I'll have to slide this down here. So it says that I've done, well, it's actually past 15 kilobytes. So you got your 1 hour, 3 hours. It goes up to 12 hours. Month, year. This is pretty interesting if you want some stats on your network and what's coming in and going in and going out and going through your switches. Let's see here. Well, I guess it doesn't allow you to. That's too bad you can't select a certain interface. Let's see here. But I've got 3 interfaces. I've got 2 modems and my network card. Anyhow, well, let's just download the update and see what that does. I'm not sure, but since we're here testing things, let's try it. And I'm not sure what it just did. If it's actually downloading anything or not. Well, let's go on from there. I'm not sure. So here's something. Oh yeah, I guess we were here already before, but I didn't see this part right here. I was looking over here at the other stuff. Well, let's move on from there. I'm not sure what this other thing is. Okay. Queued alerts. There's some warnings. I'm not sure what suspicious activity. So you can actually just view some warnings and different things like that. Well, let's try some other things here. Let me get out of that. Let me go over to the HTTP proxy. Now let's see here. Well, it was working. It said that my it says check updated. Well, it did update today, but something else why it's not updating. I don't know. It should be green. But let's check. Okay, so there's some like filter logs. The one thing that would be nice on this router is, and I hope the man that wrote the software would implement that in a package, is HTTPS blocking. I mean, this is nice to have the HTTP, but it's basically worthless. I mean, what are you supposed to do with it? All websites now use the S protocol now. That's secure. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Secure. I guess it's secure or safety. I think it's secure. And you can't block them. No way. So that would be nice if he made that like an add-on or like another release. So let's. I'm not sure. There's some other things here. I haven't seen this before, unless if it was, I just haven't crossed over it. I don't know what really all this is, but there's probably plenty of you folks out there that are advanced that know what this stuff does. I'm clueless, so I'm unable to help you with that. I just wanted to show you some of the things that, let's see here, some of the things that are in it, so you can add different things. Sorry, I'm just not that helpful with that right this minute. And let's see here. I downloaded a bunch of other. Let's see here. So the interfaces still look the same. I would have thought that they would have had something different, but I guess I'm not noticing anything different just yet. Let's see here. There's some kind of traffic shaping statics, or however you say it. Let's see here. Now this is not new, but I just saw this as I was breezing past. So, bandwidth D. I've actually had this running. I know I've seen it now. I don't know if any of you have actually seen it work, but this is pretty interesting. Let me try to get that down there for you so you can see it. So it gives you some graphs. I know this has nothing to do with the packet manager, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. I just wanted to show you. I haven't had any really real traffic going through this. I've just been playing with it, so there wouldn't really be anything that would be, calculated just yet. I mean, there's some, like right here, like the top 20 IPs by traffic daily. Shows me some of the things here. Mainly it's the main router. It doesn't show anything with my VLAN that I've got. So that's basically what that does. And as far as setting this stuff up, I'm not really sure. Let me just click this thing and see what it does. Well, it doesn't. I was hoping that let's see, this is the simple network management. I guess it doesn't allow you to customize it yet. I mean, I haven't seen where I could do it. I mean, I can remove it or disable it. I don't want to remove it. I just want to leave it there, but it's not going to hurt anything. So, I'm going to check some more things. Here's something. So this is a log that shows you about the packages that I've installed to the system. And let's see here. So there's Snort. So here's all these things that wasn't in here before, like Demon Watch. I'm not sure about Demon Watcher, but the Snort, Poxy, different things right here. I don't know if you can actually see that too good, but there's my SQL, or however you say that. I'm still going to have to learn about what I just installed, so bear with me. But that's basically what I've done to install it when you get your license. And how you do it is, let's see here. So I've got my subscription here, and there's no reason for me to have another key, but it just says active. So I've activated the features, and I'm all set to go. And that's about it for this section. I hope you found this video helpful. Please stay tuned for more updates as I proceed. The next down the pike that I'm going to be talking about is Google Fiber and how to get that to work with Zeroshell. I'm hooking up with one of my friends that's in computers as well as I am, and he's gotten into Google Fiber where he's living now. And he's going to tell me all about what you need to do to make your Zeroshell work with Google Fiber. This next couple of videos that, whenever I get to it, that is, about Google Fiber, this may not be for you because you might not be in the U.S. You may be watching from another country, but this technology is going to start creeping in to other places. Now, maybe you have it already. I don't know. But I just know what he's talking about is that it's coming with these newer internet service providers. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Look the Pushing Technology to the Limit up on Facebook. There's a lot more resources there. Ask to join that group too, and you can make comments, and you can ask questions and different things like that. And feel free. So I'll see you the next time on Pushing Technology, and have a wonderful day.